welcome back to another Wednesday whiskey review from your boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today we have a very interesting single malt here.
So you've had a small sample of this at a local whiskey bar, correct?
I did, but it wasn't the best situationally for me because before this I had 2 glasses of different Islay scotches. So at that point, my palate was fried.
So when you had this, because clearly you've had just a small dram as a tasting with nothing prior and you were home and it was at room temp?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It was good.
Okay.
Very good.
So,
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this because this is not your typical, obviously it's not Scotch. So when you're talking about single malts, we talked about this with the American single malts in the previous 2 Wednesday whiskey reviews. So if you're interested in hearing any of those, you can go back and check them out. But basically, single malts means that you just made your whiskey with malted barley. That's all it means. So when you're talking about Scotch single malt, French single malt, Irish single malt, American single malt, that all matters just where it's from. The single malt aspect stays the same. So for M&H Distillery, it's the first distillery in Israel ever, which is pretty sweet. This is distilled right in Tel Aviv, and Tel Aviv is a high cultural cuisine area within Israel, obviously.
Great,
it's
I'm
like
hungry.
The whole center of Israel anyway. And this is the first distillery to come out of that. So it's pretty sweet. What's cool with this, which is different from like Ireland and Scotland and parts of America, is that you have a climate that is undiscovered with Israel. So with this being the first distillery in there, you have no idea how the climate is going to impact the whiskey, how it's aging, how much is evaporating, proof points, and all that stuff. It's completely new because of the climate. It's 100% untapped.
So what is this?
So this is 46 ABV, which is 92 proof. So it's interesting. When I got this at Lucky Day, I asked the dude, I'm like, okay, it's called Milk and Honey Distillery. Does this taste anything like milk? Because I'll toss it right now. And he laughed, and he's like, no. I'm like, all right, good answer, sir. But yeah, what do you think about the bottle for the jumping right into the label branding? What are your thoughts?
I actually do like it a lot. They have a synthetic cork, but it's fine. And then the packaging looks like it's out of Transformers, so with Bumblebee.
It's true.
But otherwise, I'm really excited to dive into this because it does have a interesting color.
Yeah, the whiskey is aged in whiskey casks or bourbon casks. So you're probably going to pick a lot of those vanilla, caramel, oak notes of that just because it's being aged in what was previously used for whiskey.
It even looks like it.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I mean, I'm glad they have good packaging. Mm-hmm. Is this ribbed? Yep. That's cool.
Yeah, they did a good job at drawing your eyes to it for you to be interested in picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I picked this up at Addie's for
about
about $50.
I thought it was higher.
I don't think it was that much higher. Let me look it up.
I don't know why. For some reason, my head immediately went to $100.
No, it wasn't that expensive.
Outstanding news.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 50, maybe 60 at most. But yeah, let me look it up. But yeah, so I would rate this maybe an A+ for label branding.
Yeah, I go A+. I agree.
I don't even know if it's on their website yet. They just got this in. I've never heard of this before, and they just got it in after I bought it from Lucky Day.
Right.
So this is pretty new to the area. I can't even find it on their site, so I'm not sure.
You bought it at Lucky Day, or you bought it at Addie's?
Well, I bought a glass at Lucky Day, and then I bought the bottle at Addie's.
Gotcha. Because I was like, could you do that at Lucky Day? If anybody sees my head immediately start twitching, it's because there's a ladybug flying around our studio, because I guess nature found its way in again.
We'll talk about it during the weekly episode, because I don't know where the whole thought of this coming, you're lucky if a ladybug lands on you, but we'll talk about it during the weekly episode. So online it says $55.99, not at Addie's, but
in general,
$55.99
in the general vicinity of Buffalo.
probably
$60.
$60
after tax at Addie's. Anyways, it's probably $60.
So
nose. A little bit of ethanol, but it's not overpowering at all.
No, I'm getting a a melon or a cantaloupe on the nose. This is similar to me to Okatoshin.
Yes, good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
That's the first thing that I thought of when I opened this yesterday.
This is kind of pleasant, though. It's not.
Yeah.
This is neat. No pun intended, because it is.
Aha.
See what I did
I
there?
see.
Anyways.
But yeah, I'm getting that cantaloupe and melon.
Yeah.
This is very light fruit on the nose.
A little bit like a tannin almost.
Yeah. There's a little floral note in there too, but nothing crazy. I'm picking up that fruit more.
No leather either.
No, this is very light.
It is. I'll go a flat A on the nose.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
very pleasant.
Okay.
right.
Initial taste.
Nailed it.
Wow.
It's very good.
I don't hate that at all.
This is an amazing whiskey in my opinion. I don't know how they did it, but I like it a lot.
Wow. It's oily. It makes you salivate, but not in a bad way. There's a good amount of heat up front, but it's not, again, overpowering.
The sweetness is very high, but that's cut with a perfect amount of ethanol and like proof and punchiness and like a little cracked pepper, but like...
Yeah, that's... I was going to say baking spice on the back end of the initial taste.
Yeah. This is very, very sweet up front, though. This is caramel, honey. You're getting some of that cantaloupe, like fresh melon note to it, but very, very sweet notes, vanilla.
You know what this tastes like? If you removed the peat out of Lafroig, but kept everything else the same, that's what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. To me, this is straight down Okatoshin.
This is really
the smell
good,
and the
man.
taste, this is very good. All right, so initial taste, A+.
Yeah, A+.
Okay. Ending note?
Ending note is oddly dissipating quickly. And it's a very high hug. Again, another one that just kind of sits in your mouth. It doesn't necessarily travel or force its way through your sinus cavity, but it immediately makes you salivate.
Yeah.
Ending note, there's a little bit of a honey, but it's nothing crazy by any means.
Yeah, for the ending note, I'm picking more of a... like, if I could break this up, I would say the initial taste is very sweet. The ending note is very spicy and hot. Because the ending note, I'm picking up a lot of that pepper. The more oak notes, the wood is coming through a little bit more. The
wood sugars, yep.
The melon subsides. That's not there anymore.
A little bit of the
It's
char.
more of a punchiness, yeah. It's more of a punchy back end, but not overpowering. Like, this is something that you love that initial taste so much, and it changes during the ending note that you're intrigued to take another sip.
You know, this would be really good with just one drop of water out of an eyedropper.
Yeah, I don't have it out here.
No, it's fine. Cut it a little bit. See what you think on it.
Yeah.
Because it might separate that oil just a bit. Because this is very oily. I mean, the glasses are nuts, man. There's legs all over the place. And it's really, really good. Ending note, I'm still a flat A. It's, well,
I would
B+.
go A+. Really? B+?
I'm going to go B+, just because it's not, it dissipates so quickly. And there's not a whole lot on the ending note from a tasting profile standpoint. There's a couple main characteristics, but in general, it's not wowing you on the initial taste. It wows you on the ending note. It wows you on the initial taste. So I'm going to downgrade it just a little bit, but it's still good. So I'm going to go B+.
Okay. Compromise A?
I agree.
I agree. Okay. They do, I believe, take a lot of their influence from Scotland, which you can tell.
No doubt.
Okay. All right. So, final rating.
Yeah, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
90.
93.
91.5.
I love it. This is really good. This is a very well-rounded product.
Yeah. And hopefully our Patreons are proud of the fact that I just didn't stutter and knew the average of two numbers.
I'm quite shocked myself. So
specifically the one that's a math teacher, but that's fine. We'll talk about that later.
This is really sweet.
It is. This is really good. I recommend picking this up for sure. Swing over to Addie's. Ballpark $45 to $65. Realistically, it's about $50 and then after tax about $55 in New York State. Prices may vary based on location. We appreciate any and all support. And yeah, Derek, this has been Wednesday Whiskey Review number
5, I think. 6.
I think we're higher than 95. 96 or 97.
Something like that.
Because we were doing a couple. No. Yeah. Dude, we did like 3 in a row.
Yeah, man.
This might be 99 or 100.
No, it's not that high. 96.
96.
Well, thank you, everybody. So if you do pick this up from Addie's or anywhere else, please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person. And, Michael.
Do not litter.
We're out.